Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from the Redolessence channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to another video. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at the newest release by the company Coach. And this one is called Coach for Men Platinum. So stay tuned. So this fragrance was released in 2018, and the perfumer behind this one is Bruno Jovanovic, who is a very established perfumer. He has done a lot of really wonderful things. Now, the original came out back in 2017. It was received very well. I remember comparisons being made immediately to Dior Sauvage, and I think the comparisons were warranted. I think there are a lot of fragrances out there that Dior Sauvage has influenced, and it includes the original, of course, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, also Missoni. I know Michel Germain has its own version of a Sauvage scent, and so when people try to tap in on a popular or successful DNA of a scent, it's only a matter of time before they release their own variation of it. What I like with this one, and it's kind of the opposite of what I was expecting, because when Dior Sauvage came out, when they released the Eau de Parfum version, it was pretty much the same DNA of Sauvage, but with like a vanillic, sort of heftier, oriental-esque undertone. This one takes it in a completely different direction, so I'm very satisfied with that. And of course, in the base, you also have the suede leather note. Coach is an American leather goods company that was founded in Manhattan in 1941, and so it's only fitting that this fragrance contains leather. I'm excited to tell you what I think of the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So the presentation for this one is quite similar to the 2017 version, with the exception that it just says platinum here in the front, and the bottle, as opposed to it having a fade, it just has this platinum finish on it, but it still has a level of transparency so you can see how much liquid you have on the inside. It has this tag here on the side, has Coach imprinted into it, and the atomizer gives you a really good distribution, and you can actually lock the atomizer by turning it clockwise. Let's go ahead and finish with the smell. Now, as soon as this fragrance opens up, I get a lot of vanilla. Now, it's not overly sweet to the extent that it borders gourmand, but I do think that the vanilla in here is strong enough that it's one of the most concentrated notes, and it definitely puts it in oriental territory. There's also a little bit of patchouli in here that puts it in oriental territory. It's complemented by a note of black pepper, which I don't get too strongly, and I think that's a good thing. And it also has geranium, it has a lot of aromatic ingredients. It has pineapple in here as well. And so I think it's a very interesting blend considering the direction that the original took and the juxtaposition of its flanker. And so I think this one, despite the brightness or the luminance that the platinum may convey, it's actually a darker composition in comparison to the original one. And so I do get a little bit of the pineapple, perhaps a little bit of a mintiness on account of the geranium, but by far the strongest note that I get in here is the vanilla, and it's a vanilla that's done really well. I've made this criticism before when it comes to a lot of designer scents, is that I feel like they rely too heavily on tonka bean or coumarin. And perhaps there is coumarin in this, but it doesn't rely on it for its sweetness. It utilizes the vanilla ingredient, and so I really appreciate it for that. I like how they used it in just enough of a concentration that I can't explicitly classify it as a gourmand fragrance, but it has that appealing likability, and vanilla is in many ways an aphrodisiac, right? And so it has that quality in here that puts it in oriental territory, but still retains a lot of the freshness from the original. And so the original has this ambergris note, which I'm given to understand is actually ambroxan, because ambergris is obviously not a vegan ingredient and it's very expensive. And so this one does have the ambroxan. It has that freshness. It's not salty like Le Male in the Navy by Jean Paul Gaultier. It's very appealing, very easy to wear. And I think this is a great transitional scent to use when you're going from the summertime to the fall, which is where we are now. So today is technically September 16th, and it's getting quite chilly here in New Jersey, but there's still that, summer shadow in the air, if you will. I think this is by far one of the best releases of this year. And so I'm very satisfied with this. I'm also very satisfied with Bulgari Wood Essence. Not with the name though, but I like the scent. And I think they did a really wonderful job here. And so kudos to Coach and Bruno Jovanovic. I know the original was a collaboration, if I'm not mistaken, between him and Anfilippo. This one is just him. And so I feel like Inter Parfum is doing a wonderful job with Coach. I like the direction you're going in. Keep it up. Let's finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this one really did catch me off guard because I was expecting it to be kind of what Sauvage Eau de Parfum is to the Eau de Toilette, but this one is much stronger of a deviation from the 2017 predecessor. So I'm very satisfied with the direction that they took here. Definitely took it to a new direction. And in terms of the overall smell, incredibly appealing. I think if you're looking for a fresher release, you're going to be more satisfied with the 2017 version. This one though, having that vanilla note in here, yeah, it definitely sweetens up the composition, but it doesn't make it a gourmand. In terms of the longevity, I got about 7 hours from this one. And so it's not beast mode. Given the concentration, I think it's pretty good. Projection on this one also wasn't as loud as the 2017 version. If you're looking for something that really wafts and it illuminates off your skin, then obviously you want something with more citrus and you want something that has more alcohol in it, because the alcohol is what makes a fragrance that much more diffusive. This one, on the other hand, though, it's a little bit closer to the skin, a little bit more quiet, but it's a more intimate and sensual scent. And for that reason, I think a lot of people will gravitate towards it. Versatility on it is great, whereas the original was more for the hotter months. This one is, I think, all year round, but this one does kind of lean a bit more in the fall season. It's that great segue or transition from the hot to the chilly. Anybody of any age can wear this one, I think, and although it's marketed for men, I think the vanilla is pretty accessible. I could see this one being worn by a woman as well, and I guess had it been a bit more woodsy, maybe on account of a juniper or on account of the black pepper, then I would say it's quite masculine, but I don't think it's all that masculine, and so I think there's a blurred line in there somewhere. Presentation on this one I think is really cool. I don't think the name was too inventive, but I really love what they do with the smell, and at the end of the day, it's what's inside that matters, and the juice in here is top notch. My final verdict on this one is I love the smell. I really do. It's not one of my favorites, of course, because if I want vanilla, you know, I can always reach for Vanille and Sensei or Vanille Fatale by Tom Ford. There are a lot of vanillas on the market, but for a designer scent that retains the freshness, takes it in a new direction, gives it an oriental touch to an existing composition that's a classic. A lot of people love it, and it works really well for them. I think this one is going to be a hit, and I already see a lot of really positive chatter going on online in regards to this release. So good job, Coach. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of the new Coach Platinum 2018 release by Bruno Jovanovic. If you own or have tried this or the 2017 iteration, I would love to hear what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, if you are new to this channel, if you did take something of value from this video, I would really love your subscription. You may do so by clicking the red subscribe button down below. I will love you for it. And also, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for future videos, and that includes top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, special guest reviews just like this one, and a lot of other fragrance related content. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.